What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I want to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, NVIDIA, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I'm going to break down what's going on with SPY thus far, and you should be watching for as time progresses, what's happening with the markets as we have some very important data coming out very soon, and how things are looking as we progress. But before I break anything down all this information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. I am personally not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull and deposit any amount of money into the account, you are guaranteed up to 6 free stocks. If you deposit $500, you're guaranteed 20 free stocks plus 6 months of level 2 data. Putting in $25,000 or more guarantees you 70 free stocks plus 12 months of level 2 data. This offer ends in just about 4 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the markets. Looking at SPY, this thing is holding up quite decently. But I want to break down something else. SPY came down, managed to bounce alongside the market as a whole, but NIO was also outperforming the market, being up 5.79%. NIO managed to close above the 5 minutes 200 EMA, which is a pretty decent sign. I'm sorry, it's the 30 minutes 200 EMA, I believe, which is where we still held up quite decently. And then on the 4-hour time frame, NIO is just it's also above the 200 EMA, and the daily is just below the 50 EMA. So I'll be breaking down more details about this. NIO does have potential to try to break even more, but we have to watch and see some levels, which I'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. Now, when it comes to the markets, tomorrow is going to be another important day because SPY has a little bit over 2 million calls and just under 4.82 million puts expiring. So we have a 2.37 put to call ratio, over 4 million puts. Could we see another short squeeze, or are we going to see the market cool off? We'll just have to wait and see. I do anticipate some upside being very probable for tomorrow. Now, for the market, I just want to remind you all that for Friday, we have some data coming out. We have the PMI reports 15 minutes after market open, which could cause some volatility. So watch for 15 minutes after market open. As far as NIO goes, NIO has basically an alliance that's been signed up for with one new automaker, which is going to be helping them to reduce costs and to become more profitable when it comes to their orders thus far. This is a very important business for them with battery swapping technology, and this partner is going to be very, very useful. So NIO signed a deal with a car company for its battery alliance on December 14th, widening the friendly circle, and this is great news for them. They haven't mentioned the car maker by name, but they're making the announcement very, very soon. Once they sign it, we're going to find out who it is, and this is good news for them because it's going to help them put their resources and their brains together to make their systems more affordable, to help cut costs a lot more, and to continue to grow as time goes on. This is good news for them as they're trying to become more frugal, they're trying to improve their margins, and they're going to continue to grow. Now, NIO also has this episode of NIO Life coming out, showing the lifestyle and the brand that NIO is. On top of this, Mizuho has a buy rating for NIO. The price-price ratio is the same. And Fridays have a tendency of being green 53% of the time, so there's a good chance NIO will try to hold up. Now, we had 93 million in volume after the news came out, which is quite good. But the question is, how will NIO moves? This is going to depend on the markets. I do think that there's a possibility more upside, but we have to watch that $8 resistance and also go to the daily time frame. And you will see that we also want to be watching for our resistance at the 50 EMA. You can see when NIO hits this 50 EMA, we have a tendency of rejecting off of it. Like back in August, this happened. Right over here, we got close to it. And then the last time this happened was in the beginning of December. We popped and rejected off the 50. Now we're about to test it. So it's trying to break out, but we'll see if there's enough momentum to break this and get up to 8.25. Now, one thing that's worth noting is because of quadruple witching, with all the option expirations, SPY is actually holding up nicely, and there's a good chance it might try to push even more. So looking at this, the 4 hour is looking bullish. The daily still is holding up decently. We have like a little, potential doji that's forming, but it did end up coming down to fill this gap. It came very close to doing so before coming back up. So I think that SPY might gap down tomorrow, come back down again. We could be forming like a double bottom. Then we're going to see another bounce. I think it's going to make its way back up towards 474. And I think that there's a good chance we'll get another decent close because of all these puts expiring. SPY is going to close to where we are, if not above it, around 474. I anticipate some upside. As far as Tesla goes, nice day today. Managed to push up. Look for retracements again towards this 250 area in the morning. followed by a nice bounce. I think that Tesla could push even higher as the daily has a bullish looking MACD crossover. Now, we invalidated this head and shoulders. I was talking about that as a possibility. And now on the 4-hour time frame, Tesla looks like it's going to try to push up to our next targets. You could see how it's breaking out above this resistance. I'm going to go back to the weekly just to show you something else. The weekly is also looking kind of bullish for Tesla, as Tesla's about to get a bullish crossover on the PPO with a bullish looking daily or weekly candlestick. We could see this thing pushing for 260 very soon, possibly by next week. The chart looks bullish. Aapl holding up decently, but we have some tight resistance around 200. We could see this thing retrace a bit towards 197 again, then push for 200, and we'll see if it could break or not. We'll be watching to see if Aapl could achieve that. For the QQQ, weekly looks pretty decent. We have 408 as a target. We could retrace towards 402 again, then start pushing for 404. If we break that, we could get close to 406 and 408. There's a good chance of that playing out. Nvidia looks bullish on the weekly. We could see Nvidia backtest this 478 area, then bounce and start pushing up for 485. If we break that, 490 is on the table. It still looks bullish to me on the weekly. There's a good chance it might push higher for tomorrow. So a little drop in pop seems very probable, and we'll be watching it from there. Just as a reminder, what is helping this market is that the dollar looks bearish. We could be retracing towards the 200 EMA. 100.5 to 99 could eventually be coming, which could launch SPY even higher. So there's a good chance of this thing going a little higher, and we're going to be watching to see how SPY ends up reacting to that. So with that being said, how could all of this affect NIO? That's like what the real question is. In my opinion, NIO is starting to look bullish on the weekly. I think that NIO is going to make its way up to 8.5. I think that NIO is going to bounce very soon. I think that we could see a little retracement in NIO. We could back to towards the 5 EMA at this 7.6 area, then try to bounce. I think that NIO is going to push up for 8.28. I think that's going to be our target looking at the daily 50 EMA. And we'll see if NIO could break it or not. I think we're going to attempt to try to get up here and then hit this daily wick. I think that we might see it attempt to go a little higher. Then we'll see if NIO could close above the 50 EMA. If we achieve that, that is going to be bullish. Look for a little retracement at open towards 7.5 and a bounce. Watch for 8.28 if NIO could try to get there. That's going to be a good sign, and then we could turn bullish after that. So with that being said, guys, as we're getting closer to NIO Day, a lot of investors tend to get excited. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if NIO could get a breakout. And so far, this chart is showing some life of some more potential upside. All right, guys, so that's it for this one. Thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely spectacular rest of the day. Remain calm, cool, and collected. And I will most definitely see you guys in the next video. NIO in the market to the moon, because the long term is still incredibly bright. There's still so much optimism despite the current macroeconomic environment. Thank you all so much for listening. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and peace out.